Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash, double understanded apostles of great millstone that taught me this truth, and salutations all you sincere laborers out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. Alright, I'm that fellow servant Kanakala coming at you once again from GMS St. Petersburg, Florida. And before I begin this lesson, I would like to thank Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for giving me the spirit to do this video. And this is just be a World War III update in Syria. And as you can see right here, I'm just let the video play. I'm going to do as less commentary as possible. Try to edify. Alright, with that, I'm going to get right into it.
The last stronghold of rebel and terror groups in Syria, the northern province of Idlib, is right now surrounded by the Syrian army. With a decisive battle looming, civilians are fleeing the area through humanitarian corridors set up by the Syrian government and Russia.
The militants were holding us as hostages. It was cold in our camp in winter and deadly hot in summer. This humanitarian corridor is our salvation.
I am from Idlib. Conditions were dire there. The militants don't let anyone go. We escaped with just the clothes on our backs.
See that? Go back here really quick. You see Vladimir Putin right here, man. Alright, that's important. See, they got a photo, big photo of this guy right here. That's why he's been helping them out, man. America has tried to overthrow Syria, but Putin has been helping them out, man. Okay. Let me go to this really quick. Excuse me. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying," one sec. "Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog." All right, and the land of Magog will be where Russia dwells today. All right, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And Russia is the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And say, "Thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws." All right, turn Russia back to that USSR mind state. Okay, that's why back during the time of the Cold War. It says, "And I will bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company, with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." All right, that's all the military equipment. Okay. Persia, all right, Persia would be Iran, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. All right, it says Gomar, all right, Gomar would be Turkey, all right, and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters, and that would be Syria, Togomar, and all his bands, and many people with thee. All right, "Be thou prepared, prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." So it's telling Russia, Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company. All right. Turkey, Gomar, and Togomar, Syria. It says, "And all thy company are assembled unto thee," Persia, which is Iran. It says, "And be thou a guard unto them." Okay. So Russia has been a big part in this war here, helping out Syria. That's why I showed you that big picture of Vladimir Putin. Here it is. You got Russian aid over there. Russian doctors examine everyone in need.
The main illnesses here are respiratory infections, gastric distress, and arthritis. We give people medicine, recommendations, and refer them to hospital if necessary.
Controlling Idlib is militant group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, formerly known as al-Nusra or as Al-Qaeda in Syria. The group is viewed by Russia and America as a terrorist organization and has carried out a number of atrocities. The group's chief has warned all other factions against taking part in any talks with Damascus.
Our weapons are the source of our strength and honor. Thinking about surrendering to the enemy and handing over weapons will be considered treason.
The Syrian army, meanwhile, is sending reinforcements to Idlib, such as tanks, artillery, and other military equipment. Officers say their troops are ready for the final battle against militants.
Heard that? They're ready for the final battle against militants.
But as of right now, they're waiting for the order. And as tensions mount in Idlib, the Russian Center for Syrian Reconciliation says it's received intelligence on the delivery of toxic substances to the province with the help of the white helmets to later be used in staging a false flag attack.
So Russia got a hit on that. They're using those terrorists got some chemical weapons with the help of the white helmets. Okay, we know what that's talking about. Okay, to pretty much in order to stage a false flag chemical attack, and that's why, you know, that's what America uses to pretty much to invade Syria. They aid the terrorist groups with chemical weapons, and they blame Assad for using the chemical weapons on his own people, but it's not Assad. It's the terrorist group that America has funded to use chemical weapons because at least 2 years ago, Russia pretty much told the international court that Syria will bring all its weapons, chemical weapons forth, and they will all be destroyed. So Syria doesn't have chemical weapons, but you know how America plays out. They create a false flag attack and they blame the other country for their own benefit, or so they have so they can be justified in invading the country just here like they did 9/11. All right, they staged a terrorist attack so we can go over to the Middle East and invade other countries, and that's, you know, it's the same recipe America uses over and over again.
Russia has previously warned that militants are preparing to stage a chemical attack, and the issue has been the subject of heated debate at the UN Security Council.
Syrian armed forces have no chemical weapons and no plans to use them. There is no military.
They have no chemical weapons and no plans to use them. So they're trying to let them know before this pops off. You know, the Russian ambassador to the UN, you know, taking it to the United Nations, Syria does not have chemical weapons and no plans to use them. So if there is a false flag chemical attack in Syria on the civilians, it's not Syria, it's a terrorist group. You know, they have to tell them, you know, because the U.S., they just get away with this sneaky shit, man.
Necessity for it. We've said this many times before.
It is not enough for the Russians to assert that the Syrians have no chemical weapons. There are very many inaccuracies and inconsistencies.
Sensible people will not use militarily useless means to draw the fire of three powerful countries upon themselves.
We have no information about chlorine being delivered, and therefore, if the Russian ministry does have that, the most probable explanation is that it is a preemptive attempt to set the agenda and the narrative for an appalling attack to come.
To consider it as an invitation to the armed rebel groups to stage another chemical attacks as they did it in Eastern Ghouta, Duma.
You see that? He see it as an invitation for them to stage a chemical attack to say, oh, Assad is going to use chemical weapons. So, man, it's bullshit. And this chick right here, you know, she's pretty much the ambassador for the UN, saying that Russia doesn't have evidence, that Syria doesn't have it, this and that. You know, she's pretty much on the opposing side. All right? So it's a war going on.
It's very clear to us and our partners that this is an effort to distract from an imminent attack on Idlib.
RT's Murad Gazdiev has more on how the involvement of the international community in the Syrian war has made the potential escalation an extremely risky scenario.
Idlib is shaping up to be the end, a last showdown between jihadists and the Syrian army. It is the last remaining.
See that? Syria's gotten most of its country back. 2 years ago. All right, the Syrian government territory was a lot smaller than this. But look, they surrounded these terrorist rebels that America has set here, and they're ready to get them out, man. Thanks with the help of Russia. All right, Russia, Iran is over there. China was over there at one point in time. I don't know if China is currently still there, but Russia, Iran is still there. They helping Assad out, man. They seen what happened. That's that alliance, man. Ezekiel 38 chapter. Syria, Russia, Iran, all right, Turkey, all right. They're helping them out.
Stronghold of Islamists and rebels. What's worse is the foreign power buildup in the region. Out of the blue, U.S. cruise missile delivery systems, guided missile destroyers, strategic bombers are rebasing and dropping anchor near Syria, days after the U.S.
Now they just out of nowhere they bring in the U.S. is bringing warships over there near Syria. All right, cause why, man? They do that. They need those ships there, so when they do this false flag chemical attack, all right, they can be right there. They can be right there in place, man. All right, something big is about to happen soon, man.
US and its allies warned they'd take action if chemical weapons are used by Assad.
As we have demonstrated, we will respond appropriately to any further use of chemical weapons by the Syrian regime.
See that? Here it is. They're saying, okay, we will respond if any chemical weapons is used by the Syrian regime. We will respond. But they know it's a false flag getting ready to happen. Assad is not going to use chemical weapons. If Assad is going to use chemical weapons, okay, Russia wouldn't be there helping them. Iran wouldn't be there helping them. But the U.S., man, they're full of it, man.
Russia, which is beefing up its own presence, warns that it's the Islamists that are planning just that.
The US continues to expand its presence of cruise missile carriers in the Middle East, which is connected to the preparations for another false flag incident, allegedly involving chemical weapons.
Russian reports of US military build-up in the Eastern Med are nothing more than propaganda. It's not true. That does not mean, however, that we're unprepared to respond should the president direct such an action.
The United States denies building up its forces, but says it's ready to attack Syria if need be. The good news is that Russia and the United States are also apparently in talks to prevent any potential use of chemical weapons. But the danger remains, the worst-case scenario, an international escalation. Militarily, the rebels stand little chance against the Syrian army. What could save them is a foreign intervention caused by, for example, a staged chemical attack.
See there? See what he said? He said those rebels really don't stand a chance against the Assad regime, man. Okay? But what? That's what the U.S. said. See, it's all set up, man. The U.S. said if Assad used any chemical weapons, they were going to attack Assad. They were going to attack Syria. So here it is. They're going to arm the rebels with the chemical weapons. All right? Create the false flag attempt to try to help the rebels, man, to attack Syria. So what? They're gonna need that help. If the U.S. don't help those terrorist groups, Assad gonna get those terrorists out of their country. Like he said, they're gonna need some foreign help, man. All right, those terrorists can't stay there no more. They're gonna need help from the U.S. That's why the U.S. is preparing this false flag to happen, so they can go in and have a reason to attack Assad. So the terrorists, pretty much, they're finna fight side to side with the terrorist group, man. That's really what it is. They're gonna help the terrorist group fight Assad.
That is what happened last time, say the Russians. A staged incident in Ghouta that led to a US, French, and British cruise missile barrage against Syria.
America, France, and UK launch strikes on Syria. After the staged attack, you know, they play on the emotions of the people. Oh my God, did you see what Assad did to his people? They were all had chemical attacks done on them. Children were crying, women were crying. All right, people died. No, now okay, we gotta retaliate. So America, France, and UK launch strikes on Syria. All right, this is a bunch of bullshit, man. See, 103 missiles were shot. All right, and 71 were intercepted. Okay, and how you think that happened? Russia with those S-300 systems they gave to Syria. All right, so come on, man. They're backed by Russia. You guys can't really do nothing to
This time, what with the military buildup, the stakes and risks of an escalation will be much higher. But it hasn't begun yet. There will be a big conference on Friday, but chances of a peaceful resolution look slim. The Russian Reconciliation Center has been trying to broker a deal, but the jihadists remain defiant. Worst of all is that there are as many as 2 million civilians in Idlib, trapped between jihadists and the Syrian army. If talks fall through, if chemical weapons are used, if this battle drags on, civilian casualties will soar, not to mention the danger of an international escalation.
An escalation is imminent. How that develops, we don't know. Whether it goes very fierce, in the form of a very fierce confrontation between Jabhat al-Nusra on one side and its allies, and the Syrian army and its allies on the other side, we don't know. We hope that it goes as it went in other areas, like most recently in Daraa in southern Syria, where faction leaders understand that this is a force that they cannot compete with or fight effectively, and they save their people and their cities a lot of destruction and death. So in that case, people could go back to under government control as soon as possible, and to normality basically as soon as possible. And we understand that many of them are hoping to achieve such a feat.
All right, that's it on that, man. Recap on this here. All right, so as you can see, last year the same thing happened. Russia, of course, let me get that really quick. Russia, I think it's S-300. Syria, just simple. Russia after Netanyahu visits back off Syria. S-300 missile supplies. Russia put up a smokescreen to hide delivery system. So S-300 sounds to Syria, according to the claim. So, Russia, if America was to attack them, Russia already done armed Syria with these S-300 missile defense systems. That's why when United States, UK, and France, they attacked Syria with 103 missiles, 71 were intercepted, and there were no casualties. So, man, Russia is fulfilling prophecy, man. All right. Gomar, Turkey, and House of Togomar, that's Syria. It says, "Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company, they are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." All right. So this is taking place right now. I think that's pretty much it, man. Make this too long. Recap on one point really quick. As you can see right here, this is the alliance. This is that coalition. All right, the Armageddon coalition: Magog, Russia; Gomar, Turkey; Togomar, Syria; Persia, Iran; Libya, Ethiopia. All right. Go to this. Recap on this. As you can see, the blue is Syria. All right, they got most of their country back, and the red is the terrorist group, okay? And America is setting up over here battleships or whatnot. And of course, you got Turkey right up here. You have Turkey right up here at the top. But all right, man, that's pretty much it. We see what's about to get ready to take place. They say they will have talks Friday. All right. They will have talks Friday, and they said they don't really see any peace happening. So this is just to build up to World War III, man. We'll see where it leads. We'll see if the chemical attack takes place. So that's why the scriptures say, watch as well as pray. All right. See something really quick. Close this out. All right. This is Isaiah 62 verse 6. I have set up watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. So, you know, you brothers watch. You know, Lord willing, I was able to edify you and keep you updated on this current, you know, news is happening. All right, because this is really the only reason America is in the Middle East right now. This is their only excuse to be over there. Okay, to blame Assad on using chemical weapons. That's really their only use right there. So, you know, we'll see what happens. All right, and the whole thing is, while this is popping off with Syria, they're over there in Syria, man, because they really want to get into Iran. All right, and we see that thing popping off with Iran. You know, Iran doing drills in the Strait of Hormuz to close it off. So, hey, man, it's World War III, man. You know, everywhere getting ready to pop off. So, let me see something really quick. I'm going to close out with this one. All right, like it says, one woe is past, World War I. All right, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. All right, that's not the one I really wanted, though. All right, but that's it, man. You got the point, Lord's wool. That I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Kakadash, the one set apostles of the great millstone. Salutations, all you sincere laborers out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty.